Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Hard to believe, yet true. Republicans will screw everything up. If you give them a little rope, they'll hang themselves with it. And that's what they're doing with Jim Jordan. It's just unbelievable. Here you got a chance to finally elect somebody really good, somebody conservative, somebody who's, I think he's 94% with Freedom Works.
I remember right, yeah, he was
94, 96. He was in the mid to upper 90s on his conservative score, whereas Kevin McCarthy was at 54. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me who's the conservative.
I
here.
know.
And yet, they couldn't get the job done. They didn't vote for him. Fell 20 Republicans short. So he's got to come up with, I don't know. I've seen the number 17 that he needs. I've seen 20. I'm looking this particular
I've seen
story.
18.
18?
Yeah,
have you?
This is what I've seen,
okay.
yeah.
And then Chris saw 19.
So what, somewhere in
17,
there.
18, 19, 20 votes,
Somewhere
30, 40, 45, somewhere in there.
Hot. Yeah, I got it.
I mean, it's asinine. Representative Andy Ogles from Tennessee said, I fully expect the D.C. cartel to increase their no votes against Jim Jordan tomorrow because they're being hammered by the K Street lobbyists. That said, in January, I went 15 rounds in the speaker fight. For Jim, I'll go 100 rounds. Nice.
Wow, awesome.
That's great. I like that. But we'll see. Will others feel that way? I don't know. For some reason, some are hanging on to Steve Scalise. Others are hanging on to Kevin McCarthy. So I don't know.
And a couple people voted for Zeldin. Okay. Somebody here voted for somebody. They're just being ridiculous. Garcia. I don't even know who that is. And there were a couple people that people voted for that they voted for someone just because it wasn't Jim Jordan.
Yeah.
I would say that we just at a time when we need our representatives in Congress together, stop messing around. I mean, it's really sad.
Representative Mike Kelly said, we had an election last week, the first election we had. Steve Scalise was our speaker designate. I just don't understand. If it doesn't go your way on the first vote, how these people could go into that conference and talk about what a great team they have when they turn their back on the exact rules that we have. That doesn't make sense. These people are trying to justify not voting for Jim Jordan because they're moderates. They're establishment Republicans, and they don't want an actual conservative leading the way. It's despicable, is what it is. And it's really pissing me off. Nancy Pelosi was on with Joy Reid.
Oh, I bet you.
Oh, my gosh.
She's so good.
Oh, my gosh. This was one.
Still has a show?
Oh, my. Yeah, Joy Reid still has a show. I don't know how it happens, but she does. But this radical lunatic had Pelosi on, and together the two were just outrageous.
Oh, I thought you were going to say riveting.
Yeah, rivetingly outrageous, rivetingly stupid. Listen to what Joy Reid says at the beginning of this thing.
The idea that the person in that position, if something catastrophic were to happen to the Capitol again, would be an insurrectionist, somebody who was on the side of the insurrectionists. Mm-hmm. I can't wrap my mind around it fully.
I can't wrap my mind around the whole insurrection thing.
Oh, really?
Can we stop with the insurrectionist BS?
Please.
She's actually calling Jim Jordan an insurrectionist. How are you making that case? Because he liked Trump, so he's an insurrectionist? He wasn't doing anything there on January 6th. Are you kidding me? This insurrection thing. And
I wonder what you make of it.
Nancy Pelosi's about to tell us what she makes of it. Yeah.
So these House Republicans were just, they didn't have any interest in the peaceful transfer of power.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay. Republicans had no interest in the peaceful transfer of power. Gosh. Really? Is that the slop you're trying to serve us now? That's just
A slop.
yeah.
They were in denial about the election. And for all the
They're in denial. They're in denial about the election.
Are in denial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll show you that they're the only ones, too. These Republicans, these crazy, crazy Republicans in just a minute.
horror of that day,
The horror.
violence,
The violence.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, the violence. Oh, the humanity. Remember the violence?
the desecration of the Capitol, this temple.
The desecration of the Capitol. They desecrated it.
They did.
Yeah. Wow. By milling and parading.
Of democracy in the world.
Oh, wait.
The temple of democracy in the world. It's not a temple of anything. It's a swamp filled with rats, is what it is. And we don't have a democracy! Stop with the democracy
They
thing!
won't, though.
They won't.
They won't.
No, and we went
I mean, it's
through
across
this
the board
yesterday.
now.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's across the board now.
Yeah, it is. I am so fed up with the January 6th rhetoric that's so radical and so extreme and so ridiculous. I'm not even going to make the qualifier that, yeah, some people got out of control. No, I'm done with that whole thing.
I know.
I'm done trying to equivocate on this thing. It's asinine. It was not an insurrection. It was barely a riot. Okay, out of 1 million or 2 million people, there have been estimates that 3 million people were there. There might have been 100 douchebags who got carried away. Okay, so what? Move on. They didn't kill anybody. Some of them got killed. 2 of them, in fact, 2 women. One was shot, the other was trampled. 2 MAGA women were killed during that thing. And 4 police officers, 5, I think, because one had a stroke afterwards, which was not caused by the people there. He wasn't bear sprayed. He wasn't beaten with a pole. He wasn't beaten with, what was the other thing they said he was beaten with? And then it turned out, nope, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. And his family from the beginning was saying, he's died of something else. They were trying to tell everybody. He wasn't killed in this thing. And then the others...
They were afraid it was going to come back on them.
The other officers, right. And the other officers committed suicide. Are you telling me that was so horrifying to them that they had to end their lives over it? Shut up. That's just asinine. The whole thing is so ridiculous. I'm done with it.
The violation of our Constitution.
Violation of our Constitution, which she cares about so much.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh, does she love the Constitution?
She carries that on her sleeve.
Oh, man. Oh, day and night. That's all Nancy Pelosi thinks about. Constitution, founding fathers.
Have that day being the acceptance of the Electoral College vote.
Which they've been trying to get rid of forever. These flaming hypocrite liars have been trying to get rid of the Electoral College since day one. They hate the Electoral College. They want democracy. They want direct democracy where the popular vote wins out every time and there's no safeguard. Yep. And the small states just get trampled. Sorry, you don't mean anything.
We like you, but not really.
Not really. No. We're not even going to pretend like we like you. So we're throwing out the Electoral College.
Honest, I don't even want to fly over you.
Right.
But
to be honest, let's be honest.
The whole thing, the assault on our democracy. After we went back to the Capitol, took the vote, overwhelmingly, the Republicans voted against accepting the results of the Electoral College.
Yeah.
And this person that they're putting forth to be Speaker of the House, it's just appalling.
And today, he was asked, do you accept the results of the election?
Today.
He wouldn't answer that question today.
Oh, my God.
I've walked through that Capitol with you.
Oh,
and
listen to
I
this.
can see how much you revere that building.
Oh, Nancy Pelosi. She can see how she reveres that building.
How much you look around and feel the awe of it and the awe of your position.
Can you, Joy? Can you?
What garbage.
Oh, my God.
Have you ever heard a worse interview than this?
Unbelievable.
I can't take any more of it. I can't take it.
I walked the halls with you.
Yeah. And
Not
I can
now, though,
feel,
because your office is in a new place.
Yeah,
I
it's in a
can't
different
walk
place.
that far. It's
Yeah.
down the hall and to the right.
But I know how much you revere that building, though. Oh, my. And our democracy and the Constitution. And how despicable of today he wouldn't admit that was a fair election. Today. Really? How come you didn't have any problem? In fact, she was one of the people who were saying the election was stolen in 2016. Over and over, and these people still say it.
Wouldn't accept it. They wouldn't accept it. They still wouldn't accept
Hillary Clinton just said it recently. Let's take a look. Let's take a little walk together down memory lane, shall we?
You can run the best campaign.
Mm-hmm.
You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
What?
Was that today?
How can you win Russian interference?
That's a real
what I'm
thing.
scared about in 2020.
That's a real thing.
Rightly.
Yeah.
Because I think he's an illegitimate president that didn't really win. So how do you, fight against that in 2020?
Yeah, how do you?
Absolutely right.
Kamala Harris.
He's an
how do you?
illegitimate president in my mind.
Would you be my vice presidential candidate?
Okay.
I absolutely agree.
Trump didn't
He
actually
agrees.
win the election in 2016.
Illegitimate.
He lost the election, and he was put into office because the Russians interfered.
Trump knows he's an illegitimate president.
The president-elect, although legally elected, is not legitimate.
I don't see this president-elect as a legitimate president.
You said you believe that Russia's interference altered the outcome of the election.
I do. We have a president who, if in fact it is proven, has been assisted by the Russians and may in fact not be a legitimate president.
The one thing that Trump is fearful of when it comes to his being president is that finally we will see how illegitimate his victory actually was.
I have an objection. I object to the 15 votes from the state of North Carolina. I object because people are horrified.
He's an illegitimate president.
Do you believe Trump is a legitimate president?
What I believe is that there's no question that the outcome of this election was affected by the Russian interference.
There absolutely is a cloud of illegitimacy.
So that legitimacy is in question, yes.
So that was a very tainted election. And in that sense, it's illegitimate.
Why do you think the president is going to such great lengths to essentially prove that he beat you?
Because he knows he didn't. He knows he's an illegitimate president.
Stolen email, stolen drone, stolen election. Welcome to the world of unprecedented Trump.
So do you believe President Trump is an illegitimate president?
Jimmy Carter.
Based on what I just said, which I can't retract.
The Russian attempt to have the election, and frankly, the FBI is weighing in on the election, I think makes his election illegitimate.
There was a widespread understanding that this election was not on the level.
Oh, my God.
We still don't know what really happened, Isaac. I mean,
we don't know.
There's just a lot that I think will be revealed. History will discover.
Yeah.
But you don't win by 3 million votes and have all this other shenanigan stuff going on and not come away with an idea like, whoa, something's not right here.
Pause it for just a second. Okay, there it is. Once again, on the Electoral College. They're besmirching, they're delegitimizing the Electoral College. They have no reverence for the Electoral College, for the U.S. Constitution. They've none. And they've proven that over and over and over. All right, let's see some more. This is
And now we need to know, to what degree, if any, the Trump campaign was actually in collusion with Russia.
He knows he's an illegitimate president. So of course he's obsessed with me. And I believe that it's a guilty conscience.
We actually won the last presidential election, folks. They stole the last presidential election.
And Al Gore won that election. I think he won it anyway.
Actually, I think I carried Florida.
Bush versus Gore. A court took away a presidency.
Wow. So this goes back a long way.
I come from Florida, where you and others participated in what I call the United States coup d'etat.
There's no doubt
wow, it's a coup d'etat.
Elected president.
I rise to object to the fraudulent 25 Florida electoral votes.
I must object because of the overwhelming evidence of official misconduct, deliberate fraud, and an attempt to
It is signed by myself on behalf of my diverse constituents
and the millions of Americans who have been disenfranchised by Florida's inaccurate vote count. The Supreme Court.
One of the dumbest living people, Sheila Jackson Lee.
Speaking to a Democratic group in Chicago Tuesday, he made it clear he thinks Al Gore was the winner.
By the time it was over, our candidate had won the popular vote, and the only way they could win the election was to stop the voting in Florida.
Catherine Harris, Jeb Bush, Jim Baker, and the Supreme Court hadn't tampered with the results.
Tampered with the results?
Al Gore would be president.
The Supreme Court elected the president. 2004, yes. Al Gore won the state of Florida in 2000, although not the presidency.
But the Supreme Court tampered? That's a large charge. The Supreme Court stopped the counting of the votes, and if they let the count go on, they would have got the necessary votes.
Pause it for a second. How many times were they supposed to count the vote? They counted
like 8 billion times.
Multiples. I mean, dozens of times.
I was in Florida at the time. It was a nightmare.
They counted over and over and over, and somebody had to finally step in, and the Supreme Court finally did and said, "Okay, enough."
I mean, we had pictures of people counting whether the hanging chads and whether the intent of the chad was that by accident, or did someone mean to push it out and it didn't go all the way off?
Hanging chad, pregnant chad.
It was right.
Jeez.
The ones that were just barely pushed. Was that an accident, or did it work? Didn't it work right? I mean, it's just incredible.
This is incredible to watch, and especially when you take into consideration the way they talk now. Like what we just heard from Joy Reid and Nancy Pelosi. Come on. Democrats have done this every single time they've lost. Every time. All right, let's hear more, because this goes on.
George W. Bush as the president. He was not elected.
There is
overwhelming evidence
that
George W. Bush did not win this election.
What I observed as a voter, as a citizen of Illinois 4 years ago, were troubling evidence of the fact that not every vote was being counted.
I don't think that George W. Bush won the election in 2000 against Al Gore, because I think he probably lost Florida and also that nationwide.
If you invite me back on this show in about 8 weeks, I think you're going to learn that Al Gore actually did get all the votes there.
The court has been thwarting formation of the popular will, the most spectacular example being Bush versus Gore, where the majority, by a 5-4 vote, enjoined the counting of more than 100,000 ballots in Florida and essentially gave America its first court-appointed president.
Wow.
I think in 2000, everybody thought, well, he did win the election, Al Gore.
After the election, when you stole the election, you came back here and said, get over it. No, we're not going to get over it.
You know it, I know it, they know it. We won that election.
Constantly shifting vote tallies in Ohio.
It's incredible.
And malfunctioning electronic machines, which may not have paper receipts, have led to additional loss of confidence by the public.
The right to vote has been stolen from qualified voters.
In
All right.
2004,
I think we get the idea.
That is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. And it goes on for minutes more. And then there's another version of this that's twice as long. There's a 12-minute version and a 24-minute version. Of Democrats all saying elections are stolen, it's illegitimate, blah, blah, blah. How quickly they forget.
No, they don't forget.
They don't. Yeah. You're right. They don't forget. It's just so convenient that they ignore their past and just act as if this is the first time this kind of thing has ever taken place, where people think that the election wasn't totally fair. And accurate. I don't know where they get off on this. How could they say such a thing about our democracy?
And the work that comes from the temple.
Yeah, the temple of democracy. Yeah. Yeah, the hallowed halls.
I will say.
Of the building they revere so
oh my
much.
Gosh.
They revere
you can feel it.
Yeah,
when you walk through the halls with them. You can feel the reverement. Anyway, I will say... and we were talking the other day, we talked about how the videos like this have the music on them and underneath. That wasn't too bad.
No, that was pretty good. Yeah.
Was it our people that did it?
I don't think so, because I don't think we put music under that stuff. I think we just let it speak for itself. You don't need the music, but yeah, somebody did an okay job on that.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, let me take a minute and tell you about Patriot Mobile. this is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. They've been doing a great job for a long time now. It's why I'm proud to partner with them. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage. They give you the ability to access all three major networks, which means you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to without funding the left. You know, it's one thing to switch and then figure, okay, I'm going to lose a little bit of quality, but it's going to be worth it because I won't be funding the left. No, the quality is the same, if not better, because you're going to get better customer service. They have 100% U.S.-based customer service that makes switching really easy for you. And you'll be supporting free speech and religious freedom and the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment. And then when you call them, you'll be able to understand the people you're talking to. It's fantastic. You can keep your number, or you could switch your number. You can keep your phone or upgrade, whatever you want to do. Their team will help you find the best plan to fit your needs. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Pat or call 972-PATRIOT. You get free activation when you use the offer code PAT. So join me and make the switch today to patriotmobile.com/Pat. That's patriotmobile.com/Pat or 972-PATRIOT.
Beware, Pat Gray is unleashed.
By the way, according to Rasmussen, I think this poll was done maybe a year ago. Most Democrats still, at that point, thought that the Russians interfered with the election and that the election of Donald Trump was illegitimate. I mean, come on. 26% said it's very likely. 46% overall. No, 47% of likely U.S. voters believe it was likely that Russian interference changed the outcome of the 2016 election. My gosh, that's just amazing.
Sure is.
Amazing. 47 to 46% in the Democrat Party of those who think it was likely to unlikely. And yet, we still hear it every day. Just screaming at the top of their lungs about illegitimate presidents, but they can't believe that others think this last election was illegitimate. And January 6th was an insurrection that almost upended democracy. Oh my. Can you imagine such a thing? I can't. Just the horror of it all. I can't either. I can't imagine it. Well, will this democracy be immersing ourselves even more deeply into conflicts all over the world? You know, Mitch McConnell is on board with tying in the Ukraine aid with aid to Israel.
Of course he is. This guy. Of course he is. And it's been being reported, right, that they're going to ask for $100 billion.
Yeah, $100 billion.
I'm sorry, I worded that wrong. They're going to ask for just $100 billion.
Yeah, they're not asking for $100 trillion.
Correct.
So, what's your problem with it? What's your problem? Why don't you shut up about it?
I don't have a problem.
Okay. Well, good.
I'm just reporting the fact that they're going to ask, or it's been reported that they're
going to demand $100 billion. They'll demand it, and they will trounce the reputation of anybody who stands in the way of it.
So if we don't have a Speaker of the House, we can't give them the $100 million, right? Or the $100 billion.
No, we can't. And so we should probably get a speaker pretty soon.
I don't know. Maybe we hold off on that.
Yeah. Oh, good. That's a good point. Yeah.
Let's hold off on that. Maybe we postpone the vote.
You know, it's not bad. They act like it's the worst thing in the world when Congress isn't in session and they're not doing their job, which their job is usually bad for us.
That's what I mean.
You're right.
I know what we want to get a speaker.
Let them be dysfunctional.
And we want to show, we have one common face and we're strong and we're running the country. But do you think that our Congress is going to tell Mitch McConnell, the head of the Senate, or
I don't,
second in line in the Senate?
Maybe if Jim Jordan gets in, he will. Maybe.
And tell Joe Biden, how about no?
Mm-hmm.
No.
That's what needs to happen. It's what needs to happen.
Yeah, maybe Jim Jordan will.
Yeah, Jim Jordan has said he's against continued aid to Ukraine, which is great because obviously Kevin McCarthy wasn't. So we'll see. We'll see if this gets tied in or if the Israelis get a separate deal, on aid from America. We've already sent 2 carrier strike groups to the region.
We have boots on the ground.
We got boots on the ground.
Or at least we have. They're getting ready for at least 2,000 troops are readied. But they said that we already had some troops there helping with logistics and stuff. Just logistics. They're not fighting. Don't be silly.
Right. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. They're just showing.
That's just how it started in Vietnam.
It's logistics.
Man, we got people training them. It's just logistical, really. Fine. There's some training purposes. There's some logistical things that we're helping them out.
That's all. Yeah. Sure, we're sending some soldiers and helicopters into countries they're not supposed to be. Shh. Don't say anything.
Sorry.
Shh. Yeah, just logistics.
Don't worry about it. Yes, that wound up in the death of 56,000 American troops in Vietnam. But I'm sure that won't happen again.
No.
That won't happen again. Nothing could be further from what they're thinking than to send troops in. Come on. This thing with Iran is really heating up.
They're all heating up. I mean, Lebanon, there was burning our embassy as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least they did last night. I know they were protesting, and then there were reports that they were starting it on fire. And please stop.
Mm-hmm.
Please, Lebanon. It's okay. We're on your side.
And Biden's over there right now trying to talk him out of a ground invasion.
Absolutely he is. 100% he is.
Stay out of it, you piece of garbage. Just stay out of it.
100% he is. His opening remarks to Netanyahu,
I think we have those, don't we?
Or last night, whenever they arrived, was incredible. So we have him leaving for Israel on the tarmac. I'm told that that's a little awkward.
Really?
Let's see Joe leaving for Israel. Awkward. Okay, it's all short stairs now.
Bye. Bye. Oh, let me see if I can.
No short stairs. Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, those long stairs are put away. We're never using those again.
Yeah.
Never.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then we have him arriving, and I will say, and I thought we were told that for state visits and stuff, that's when we would use the long stairs.
Mm-hmm. No,
but
no, because you can't.
So,
he can't.
So we're using.
He can't navigate this stuff.
No way. So he arrives in Israel, and I mean, he has to steady himself before coming down the stairs. And good for him. I mean,
let's make sure. Make sure you can make the trip.
I don't want him to fall.
No,
that would be wrong.
My goodness,
that would be wrong.
No, we don't want that.
I do not want him to wrong. Oh yeah, go back to the very beginning though. When he first, I hope it was a part of the video at the very beginning where he first shows up at the beginning of the doors. He comes down those stairs, and he has to steady himself before he starts down the stairs. Now he, obviously hugs.
That's got to be tough for Netanyahu because Netanyahu, he must know who this guy is, and he knows he's a douchebag, and he knows he's an incompetent buffoon who's got dementia. He knows that.
Yes,
he knows that better than just about anybody else, any other world leader. The Mossad is a really good intelligence agency.
Gives him a little punch in the chest, and then this goes on. He kind of, I'm not sure if he's looking at someone behind him or he doesn't know where to go.
He doesn't know where to go.
He's probably know where he goes. But can we start that again at the very beginning, please? Because I want to see his very beginning down those stairs.
He's already on the stairs by then. But he's hanging on to that rail.
Yeah, he is.
I'm glad of that.
But when he came out of those
guy.
little doors on the short side there, because that's the deal. That's what confuses him. He's got to go through those little doors because that's the baggage chamber. And he stops and stairs.
Yeah,
down we go.
Yeah,
strong presence in the Middle East when he arrives.
Yeah,
strong presence.
So good. More Pat Gray Unleashed just around the corner.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
888-900 3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter and Instagram, Threads. Here's some tweet X's right now, as a matter of fact. Tamara B. tweets Pat, please warn us before playing a long montage of Democrats spewing evil. I'm trying to eat my breakfast.
I feel like we did.
I feel like we did. Kind of did. Sean, the only building Pelosi reveres is the liquor store. From Carl Smith.
That's the temple.
One thing about Democrats, when they get an idea, no matter how stupid, they stick to it. Remember, they elected Nancy Pelosi Speaker twice. Yeah. Paco D, who needs Speaker of the House when we're on the verge of World War III? Well, yeah, except somebody's going to have to fund it, you know? And Eric White and Privileged, when did Team America become the police force for the entire world? Wow. A while ago. It's been a while.
It's been a while. It has been.
I'd say shortly after World War II, because it started with Korea, went to Vietnam, Grenada, Panama. Where else?
Anniversary's coming up at the end of the month.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to remind you of
it's coming up in
Operation.
Coming up in a couple of weeks.
Desert Shield or Storm.
Urgent Fury, my friend. Okay, show a little respect.
Urgent Fury.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Chris, what was the name of your operations at the gate there?
Iraqi Freedom.
Iraqi Freedom. Operation Iraqi Freedom. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
I thought it was a dumber name than that.
Well, that was for the guards. The Freedom thing was just for the guards.
Operation Guard the Gate. Are you sure it wasn't that? All right. 888-900-3393. Did you see the big cache of ammunition, weapons that the Israelis found? They say that this is only about 20%, I think, of what was there. But check this out. Here they are, kind of taking us on a little shopping excursion for like RPGs and things.
All the munitions that you can see in here is about approximately 20% of what Hamas terrorists brought on their vehicles. You can see different kinds of shaped charges, rockets, RPG, grenades, all kinds of stuff around here. You can see by the amount of munitions, the medical equipment, and food that they brought with them, that they were prepared for long term in our villages. You can see by the symbols on all the equipment that everything is homemade of Hamas. Homemade production.
Wow.
And they were preparing for a long stay. And rather than that, though, they got a little dirt nap, which is great.
Well, that's what they were saying.
Most of them were killed by the IDF.
That's a shame.
Yeah, isn't it?
It's a shame.
Okay, I'm over it.
Okay.
But yeah, it took a while. Did you notice that?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I don't think we were ever going to get over it. But the hospital that was destroyed yesterday in Gaza, that originally we were told, or at least it was reported, that those damn Israelis bombing hospitals.
Yeah.
And then we find out, no, not so fast. And now they're busy investigating. They think that they're not even sure that it actually hit the hospital. They're saying that it was an errant missile from the other team, as our president calls them, which you'll see momentarily. And they're saying that the explosion was so big, they think that Hamas had weapons stored in the hospital.
Of course they did.
So
that's what they do. Yeah, that's what they do. They fake deaths of people. They use old corpses to inflate their numbers. I mean, these people have been doing this. They're famous for it.
Yeah.
Dating back decades.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Jordan
this is what they do.
Doesn't want. Jordan has said no.
Yeah, they don't want any.
We're not taking any.
None of the Arab states want anything to do with them.
Not taking any of them.
They don't want a single thing to do with them. There's not one Muslim country that says, "Hey, you know what? Settle here. We love you guys. Come on in."
Because they did before.
None of them.
And it didn't work out well.
Sure didn't. They were attacked repeatedly by terrorists in Jordan. And to the point where Jordan got sick and tired of it and said, you know what? Nah, we don't want you here anymore. We don't want you here. But the Israelis, man, they love you guys. Why don't you go See if you can get them.
I hate
give you
them
a
for
space.
not wanting you. I'll tell you that.
And again, the really ridiculous part of this is they had a state, same time as Israel did. Both sides were given their own countries, and that never gets covered. Never. Except here. I mean, I try to mention it every now and again because I think it's somewhat important. They had their state. You know, everybody acts like, oh, those damn Jews, they get what they want all the time. They got everything they wanted. Why can't we get anything? Yeah, you turned it down.
Yeah.
You turned down an equal-sized country so that you could destroy Israel and take it all. That was the whole point from the beginning, which is the crux of the problem. They're not happy until they reach their goal of destroying Israel. That's their goal, plain and simple. How do we know that? It's in their charter. It's in the charter of the PLO. It's in the charter of the Palestinian Authority. It's in the charter of Hamas. They don't make any bones about it. They teach it to children on their children's shows.
Right.
So I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to hear it. I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can side with the Palestinians in this. I don't understand it. I really don't.
Well, we certainly have seen a number of people siding with the Palestinians here in the state.
Sure have.
You talk about an insurrection. January 6th being reminded. I was looking at a quick clip of the demonstration in front of the White House with signs, cease fire and stop the genocide of Palestinians. And it looked a lot worse than January 6th, but there was just a friendly protest. I'm sure it wasn't an insurrection.
Mm-hmm. No.
Seriously, do we have that? I mean, she's got her sign there as stop the genocide of Gaza. That's just a quick reminder.
See, what I love about the Palestinians and especially Hamas is that they're a people of peace. There's a piece of somebody over here. There's another piece over there.
Okay.
There's another piece right over there.
Okay.
Oh, there's a piece of someone right there. They're a people of peace, and that's beautiful. It really is. Is it not beautiful? Okay.
It is beautiful.
Okay. I'm just trying to express how beautiful it is to
that
be
doesn't represent
a people of peace.
All of
Hamas.
The Palestinians.
No, that's why I said Hamas. Their organization is an organization of peace, as I just outlined. Piece of somebody right over there.
Yeah.
There's another piece over there. They're a people of peace. An organization, I'll say Hamas, is an organization of peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But our president, Joe Biden, is now over there.
Mm-hmm.
He flew in. We saw him, get on and off of Air Force One using the short stairs.
So
he's
spryly,
powerful.
Too. He's so vigorous and spry. Did you
Showing
see him bound?
The strength of America.
Yeah, it's great.
And
it's great.
His opening remarks with Netanyahu, well, even more powerful.
Okay.
Even more powerful.
Good. Let's hear him.
Americans are greedy with you. They really are.
That's true.
Americans are worried because they know this is not an easy field to navigate, what you have to do. But the fact is that Israel, as they respond to these attacks, seems to me that they have to continue to ensure that you have what you need to defend yourselves. And we're going to make sure that occurs.
Okay, stop. Okay, now that's where he should have stopped. Israel, I'm here to make sure Israel has what they need. We're going to respond. Have a nice day. We're going to meet. Talk to you later. Thanks for coming. But no, he continues.
And we have to also bear in mind that Hamas does not represent all the Palestinian people. And that has brought them only suffering. Years ago, I asked...
Pause it for a second. They actually do. You're right, because they elected them.
Yeah.
So they elected them specifically to represent the Palestinian people. So what are you talking about? They don't represent the... Yeah, they do.
Kind of do.
Yeah, they not just kind of. They really do. They really do
Maybe
represent.
their election was also stolen.
Maybe. That's what it was. It's illegitimate. They're illegitimate leaders.
All the new technology voting machines that they were using in Gaza.
Yeah. You know they're high-tech over there.
Exactly.
They're high-tech.
Wow.
What they've done with their space there in the Gaza Strip is inspiring. It's inspiring.
It is.
You see all the products that come out of Palestine there, the little Gaza Strip, the cars, the computer chips, the iPhones, the iPads. Yeah, they've done a really marvelous the food they grow and supply to the rest of the world. Man. Oh man, they've taken that little strip and they've just turned it into a.
It looks like Vegas of
garbage dump.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's unreal. Look at the difference. Well, they can't because they're so oppressed by the Israelis. BS. The Israelis left the Gaza Strip a long time ago. Almost 20 years ago now. Almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And do you know where the Palestinians go to get jobs? Israel.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Israel.
That's right.
Israel, that's where they go.
So Israel lets them come
across, back and forth every day to work. Yep.
But they had different license plates, though.
They do have different license plates.
Have different
that's
license
racism
plates.
right there.
Yeah.
Yes,
man.
they do.
You know, that's like Texas having a different license plate than Oklahoma. Ooh, we've got different license plates, too. Are we being oppressed or are they?
Yes, we are.
Yes,
Which is the oppressed people
I mean,
here?
some could make the case.
I mean, it's asinine. It's asinine. One of the big problems with the war starting was that they shut off those crossing points. And so they're like, oh, what? Where will the Palestinians work then? I don't know. In the Gaza Strip, I guess, right? Because
open up a store.
The Israelis couldn't have been employing those people and paying them money to go back and forth. Could they?
No.
Because the Israelis hate and oppress them. That's all they do is keep them down right under their thumb. Those mean, awful, nasty Israelis.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Mr. Biden, President Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah, let's get back to our illustrious president.
In the Senate to write something for man, said he wrote a line that I think is appropriate. He said, "It's not we lead, not just."
Okay, stop. Right now, he's lost.
Absolutely,
he has no idea what he's talking about.
This time and does. And then
no idea. Completely lost.
What was that, Mr. President? What the hell are you talking about?
So he finally gets to it. I know you're gonna do this.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to it.
All right.
He finally does get to.
Good. Let's get to
a minor point.
All right.
Taking too much time, but the point is this: that I'm deeply saddened and outraged by the explosion at the hospital in Gaza yesterday. And based on what I've seen, it appears as though it was done by the other team, not you.
Oh, the other team.
A lot of people out there are not sure.
But they're teams.
But we're not sure.
This is just an athletic competition. That's a team over there, and they're playing against us right now.
But we're not sure.
Unreal.
We still need to look into it. He didn't even give it to Israel 100%.
Wow. I'm talking to, but anyway, he is. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him, and I don't blame him. Called him a team. That's only
team.
because
You can stop this.
That's only because he doesn't remember who he's dealing with here. He's just rambling at this point. He's got no idea what he's saying or where he's going with it. No idea.
And that whole thing of, we were finding out that it was the other team. It was the other team. But we still need to look into it. No, we know.
Wow.
We know. So Netanyahu's got to be happy that he's there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he's celebrating inside. He didn't look like he was, but inside, he was having a party in his head.
I will say this.
He was having a party.
The man didn't put on a tie.
No, he didn't.
For the
Look at
President
that.
of the United States.
Look at that. Look at him, though. Look at that expression on his face. Either he has resting bitch face,
or what am I even doing
he's just
here?
really pissed.
What
right
am I
now.
even doing here?
He wishes Trump was there.
Yes.
That's
he
what
does
it
wish
is.
Donald Trump
Sure
was
does.
there,
That's what it
for
is.
sure.
Because he knows full good and well Donald Trump is an actual ally. This guy, no, not so much. All right. Let me have you picture for just a moment what would happen if all of a sudden the global medication supply chain of antibiotics just disappeared right before our eyes. You know, most of our medicine in this country is manufactured in places like India and China. And you can bet that there could be a time when they just cut us off. So what do you do when you need an antibiotic and you don't have any? Well, that's where the Jace case comes in. The Jace case from Jace Medical is a great way to keep yourself prepared for the worst. Prepare for the worst, hope and pray for the best. It's a pack of 5 different courses of antibiotics that you can use to treat a long list of bacterial illnesses, UTIs, respiratory infections, sinus infections, lots more. It's a great way to be ready for shortages. Or if you're out of town and just don't have access to your normal pharmacy and doctor, it's Jace Medical, JASEmedical.com. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout, and you will save big. That's promo code PAT at JASEmedical.com. All right, we got a lot more to get into. And for instance, the IDF explains the Gaza hospital bombing. I think we touched on it a little bit, but we'll let the IDF explain what's going on there because they're going to make a big deal out of that. They're going to make a huge deal out of the Israelis bombed our hospital. That's how brutal these people are.
Yep.
Really?
Because that's the way it was reported from the very beginning. No one, so now everyone thinks that.
They do. They do. And they shouldn't. Again, the Palestinians are famous for faking this stuff and trying to make, or messing up, and then blaming it on the Israelis, or doing it on purpose and blaming the Israelis. I don't put anything past Hamas. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here.
I am.
On the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. Got some tweets here. Let's Be Frank in Pennsylvania tweets. You should be less concerned about how it started in Vietnam and thoroughly outraged over how it ended. With the complete betrayal by the Democrats in Congress sabotaging us at the peace talks when we had already won. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
The reason we focus on how it started, though, was because that's how it's starting in these other locations now. And I'd like to head that off at the pass. That's why we talk about the beginning rather than the end. Rowdy Introvert, what's $100 billion amongst friends? Well, $100 billion divided by roughly 132 million U.S. households is about $757 per household. Oh, we can all afford that. That's not bad. Thank you for breaking it down like that, Rowdy. Now I feel really good about it.
We all would.
That's only $750 a piece.
We all would get $1 million.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't get $1 million. No, you pay $757.
Huh.
That's not bad. Is it worth it for the Ukrainians fighting off those mean, awful, bad Russians? Yes.
I will say,
yes.
I did like the fact that Zelensky tried to weasel into Israel, and Netanyahu was like,
no. Yeah, how about no?
Now's not the time.
Because what do you want to bet? He would have weaseled his way in and then asked him for money.
Oh, yeah.
He would have tried to get a handout from him. Hey, you know what we could use, though, too, is one of your nukes. How about that? About one of those nukes.
You know, whatever Joe gives you, why don't you let me have them?
Yeah, we'll just we'll split it with you. All right? Thomas Nicholas, has Jim Jordan committed to holding votes on term limits and balanced budgets and completing the investigations of the Biden crime family? Or else he gets booted too? That's a pretty good point.
Yeah.
I don't know that they have pinned him down to that. I don't know, but they should. Dr. Free Range Prisoner, What I flush out of my personal fortress of solitude in my home has more value than any of Pelosi's opinions about her fortress of democracy. Now, it wasn't a fortress of democracy, though. It's a temple of democracy. Big difference.
So
yeah. That,
I'm down to little Superman chat.
That illegitimizes the whole thing. So, go Speed Racer Pat Go. Maybe the moment of silence for Hamas was a tad too long.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I
think it was a tad too long because it went about like, all right, maybe we should take a moment. All right, that's it. I'm over it. Yeah, that was too long. You're right. I apologize. We lead with our mistakes here. Liberty 2A. Where will the Palestinians work now? Hashtag learn to code.
That's good.
There's always facial cream, too. You can always turn to facial cream. Am I right? Yeah. Yeah. And they got no job to leave. So they can just
jump right in.
Take it up. Let's go.
Face first.
And from Jenna Cook, Biden was so powerful that he couldn't even hold his own head up. Such a formidable strength he exudes. Our enemies tremble.
They sure do.
They do. I mean, they can't help but because, he's such a force. He's a force of nature, that man.
He is. I mean, that's why we have Hezbollah declaring, today, actually, a day of unprecedented anger against Israel. Huh. Really? Okay. All right. And
Hezbollah has declared a day of unprecedented anger
against Israel.
Wow. Yeah. Ouch. That hurts. Now you've really affected us.
And
I'm
Iran
sorry.
has warned time is up.
Time is up.
Okay. For Israel.
All right.
Following an attack on Gaza, I guess. So
yeah, they tweeted that.
They believe that.
They tweeted? Wow.
They tweeted that. So
wow. I thought threats weren't okay on Twitter. Are they under? Maybe they are with Elon. I don't know. I think what's his face? It was supposed to like ban people who threatened others.
Well, and different countries now and different areas of the world have different rules for all the social media accounts that they have to follow, the social media platforms.
Well, but doesn't it all kind of stem from what Elon says about Twitter? It's his company. He can shut it down in any country.
Well, but there are some things that are worse in other areas than here in the U.S.
Which is why he's being sued.
Who's he being sued by? Elon's being sued?
He's got multiple.
Yeah, I'll bet he's got a lot of lawsuits.
And he's having a tough time spending his $250 billion. So,
Well, good. Yeah, he can spread some of it around after he loses some lawsuits.
Right.
So that'll be great. All right, let me take a minute and tell you about Embrace Pet. Our next partner has truly made a positive impact on the most important person in our life. No, I'm not talking about my wife. I'm talking about our dog. Our dog here. Let's be real. Having a pet is expensive. From natural pet food to pets setting, the sitting, where you have to kennel them or whatever during your vacation. You go on vacation, you don't have anybody to give them to, and so you got to take them to a place that it's a boarding house really for pets.
Let alone you have to
Super
buy
expensive.
all their bowls and waters and little beds that they have to lay in.
Costs really skyrocket. But one thing that's definitely worth it for your pet is pet insurance. Love it. And, we love our pets. We want to do everything we possibly can for them. It's time to upgrade your pet insurance game. Whether you have a dog or a cat, Embrace Pet Insurance offers customized plans for your pet's exact needs. Now, when you go to a vet, it can be... My daughter had a problem with her cat, and it was a big one. It was a big problem. So sad. It's not funny at all. It's really not. This was the cutest little kitten.
It kind of is, though.
It's
but
not.
I know we're doing the commercial.
It's not.
It kind of is.
So anyway, she had to take it to the vet. I mean, they were talking about X-rays and CAT scans for the cat. So they actually do CAT scans on cats. Anyway, it was going to be like $6,000. Who can do that? You're going to do that for your pet? I mean, you love them, But are you going to spend $6,000? No, you need Embrace Pet Insurance. Don't wait for the unexpected to happen. Join the massive community of pet owners who trust Embrace Pet Insurance to protect their pet. Go to embracepetsinsurance.com/unleashed. Sign up for pet insurance today. Make sure you go to embracepetsinsurance.com/unleashed, or else they won't know that I sent you. That's embracepetsinsurance.com/unleashed.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Okay.
So you want to talk about my daughter's incident with her cat, right? Is that what you're...
I kind of do.
You kind of do.
I kind of do. Because it's not funny, but
it's not
hilarious.
Funny. It's so heartbreaking. If you would have been there, if you would have seen this poor little guy... So agonizing.
And you felt so bad, and then it was like, how much? No.
Yeah, $6,000.
Sorry. Yeah, you're not going to make it.
No.
I think it's time for you to go live with the beavers out back. Okay.
My granddaughter, who's 3, fell off the couch. And this is just a tiny little cat. He's a kitten and fell right on its head, unfortunately. And it messed him up. It was so bad. I mean, it's almost bringing tears to my eye. It's just really sad.
Me too.
Really, really sad.
I'm crying.
No, I know you are.
Am.
Yeah, I can tell. You are broken up about it.
I am.
I know. But we saw him at the vet, and it was just, it was agonizing. It was agonizing.
Actually, I'm sure it was heartbreaking.
It was.
But that's funny stuff. Right?
No, it's not. No, it is not funny. It's funny that you think it's fun. It's heartless and hideous. And, I don't want to hear anybody say, you guys are too mean to Jeffy anymore. Because, okay, here's your evidence of what a despicable human being he is. I don't want to hear it. Oh, you need to be nicer to Jeffy. Really? No, we're not mean enough to Jeffy. I think you're seeing that right now. But we lost him.
Yeah.
We lost him. So,
okay, I'll stop.
We could have spent $6,000 and then lost him.
More, yeah.
So pet insurance is a really excellent idea. All right. So where were we going with it? Didn't we have more on...
the IDF explaining
we have the IDF
hospital.
on the hospital situation. Yeah, okay. A hospital blew up in the Gaza Strip, and I think Gaza City. And, of course, they're claiming that the Israelis bombed it.
Immediately, it's the Israelis' fault, period. And then it was like...
yeah, maybe not. Here's the IDF on that.
On October 17th, Islamic Jihad destroyed a hospital in Gaza when a rocket aimed toward Israel misfired and landed in Gaza.
Yeah, from the other team.
Yeah.
This isn't the first time. While thousands of rockets are fired toward Israel, rockets fail.
Especially theirs.
These failed rocket launches cause mass destruction and the death of countless innocent individuals inside Gaza.
Wow.
The ones made from the water pipes?
Yeah. Right. Look at that. Huh. Interesting.
Scary.
Yeah. And worse than that, sometimes it's on purpose with Hamas. They don't care.
No, because they want Israel to be blamed.
Right. Exactly. And they'll sacrifice plenty. How many times have these terrorist groups killed their own people over and over and over again? It happens all the time. The highest death toll from terrorism in Afghanistan and Iraq due to terrorism was not U.S. soldiers. It was Iraqis and Afghanis. They killed their own over and over and over again. So, again, I don't want to hear it. There's no excuse for Hamas. And again, the Palestinian people, bless their hearts, they voted for him.
Yes.
They put them in office. They gave them the authority in this area. So, there's that. You know,
there is that.
There is
that. I mean, and we know that they are raised to believe that even if they kill themselves, I mean, suicide bombers, right? I mean, that's what they do. They're
right.
They believe that they're killing themselves.
Yeah, and they're going to their 72 virgins or whatever.
Yeah,
right,
for the cause.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we haven't heard about the 72 virgin.
We have not heard about the 72 virgins.
I don't think you can talk about that anymore.
Really?
Pretend like I didn't just talk about the 72 virgins because you can't.
Why?
You can't because you can't talk about it anymore.
It's
insensitive. Yeah, it's bad. It's no.
Are they not virgins anymore? Is it what?
I don't think they were virgins in the beginning, but again, can't talk.
Can't talk about them. Okay.
Can't talk.
All right. I don't know why we can't talk about them.
And I don't know why it's 72 exactly. I mean, isn't 10 enough? 15?
Well,
what about 20?
Once you're in it.
Do you really want to ask that question with that guy in the corner?
No.
We just did a whole
You're right.
10-minute about
You're
a
right.
cat.
About what? Yes, and how bad.
And
a
how
person
bad
he
is. Now
You're
you
right.
want to ask him
I'm
about
a
the
bad guy.
72 virgins?
No, that's a good point, Chris. Thank you.
Just the cat.
All right, let's show you what AOC had to say on CNN about whether she supports sending troops to Israel.
And also at the same time, 2,000 troops being told to get ready to potentially deploy to the region.
Who is this?
Is that something that you support the Defense Department doing?
You know, I know that, and I truly believe that it is in the interests of every single actor in this region to have a cooling of tensions here. I don't believe that any singular actor wants to see an escalation in violence, an escalation in the volatility of the situation. And I think what is most important is that we focus on the moves that are necessary to achieve that aim.
Phillip. Yeah, I just saw. Thank you.
Okay, what's her name?
Abby Phillip. This is
Abby Phillip.
Newsnight on CNN.
I have never heard of Abby Phillip.
Now you have.
Before. Until now. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Also, she tried to explain her vote against the Iron Dome to protect Israel.
Should Arab countries be taking on the lion's share of the burden to absorb what could be over 1 million, if not more, refugees from Gaza?
I think there's something to be said about the region's partners being able to support and step up Palestinians. However, that does not abdicate the United States from our historic role that we've played in the world of accepting refugees and allowing people to restart their lives here.
Nope. Yeah, it does abdicate us from that.
Yes.
And I don't care how many times we've taken in refugees from all over the world. This is not the time. This is not the place. These are not the people. They hate our guts, and we don't need a bunch of people coming to this country who hate our guts. We don't need it. Do you remember the dancing in the streets in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip after 9/11? Dancing in the streets.
They're burning our embassies.
Right.
No.
Right.
Sorry. No.
No. No, thank you. You want to take them into your house, Alexandria? Go ahead. Invite 15 or 20 of them to stay with you. I'm sure you got plenty of space, plenty of room. Making $175,000 now, you should be fine to take on a few tenants.
In your Tesla.
Yeah, right.
That you're making excuses that you still own.
That's right. That's great. All right, there's more from her. It's just she's pathetic. There's a better way to grow your nest egg, though, than you're probably doing right now. It's called Bank on Yourself. It's a guaranteed and predictable way to grow your hard-earned money. This retirement plan alternative gives you 100% control of your money, plus tax-free income in retirement. Man, that's hard to find. The taxes on everything now, just outrageous. I mean, not just the income tax, not just property tax, but the estate tax, tax on when you withdraw from your IRA or your 401k. I mean, they hit you every which way. But this is guaranteed predictable growth and retirement income with no luck, skill, or guesswork required. And according to the current tax law, it's tax-free retirement income. You'll know what your tax rate will be in retirement. 0. Again, under current tax law. They could change the law at any time, but they haven't yet. So this is a great time to take advantage of this. If you want guaranteed, predictable annual growth, control of your money, and tax-free retirement income, then go to bankonyourself.com/unleashed, and they will send you a free report with the proven retirement plan alternative that banks and Wall Street desperately hoping you never hear about. Go to bankonyourself.com/unleashed, get your free report, find out about it, read all the details. bankonyourself.com/unleashed.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
I got some tweets or X's here. Amateur monger of hate tweets, the Uniparty represents the American people because you vote for them. Yes, just as Hamas represents the Palestinian people because they voted for them. The Podunk Pathead tweets, the clip says, Biden meets face to face. More like face to his own lap. The guy can't stop reading his notes.
I know.
True.
But he's
True.
there creating solidarity.
Of course.
Between Israel and the country and the rest of the Arab nations.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
He is there, yeah. It was reported. Now, they canceled the face-to-face meetings with him and the other Arab nations, but it was being reported now that he's going to call them up on the phone.
Oh, he couldn't do that. Couldn't do that from here, right? I'm glad he wasted the jet fuel and the CO2 to get over there.
Have you seen those long distance calls rates?
Oh,
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. International call rates. Not good. Not good. Yarn in one hand, hook in the other tweets. Netanyahu's thoughts. I want my Trump back. We all do, sir. We all do. From Mickey Ensign. I'm in California. I deserve credit for waking up at 4 a.m. to watch the show live. Yes. Well, thank you, Mickey. Thank you for doing that. Bless you. Yes.
Really?
Yes, really.
All right. I mean, I guess you could make the case that it's not the same thing, but we have a way that was invented.
No, but it's great.
Internet.
They
can't, Blaze TV.
Obviously,
you can watch it anytime you want.
Can't wait to hear the show and see the show.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks, Mickey.
Don Walker tweets: farts are a force of nature, just like Joe.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Sasquatch Cougar. We should tell some scary stories for Halloween. Oh, wait. Everything we've heard today has been a scary story.
Yes, I know.
Professor Friday, wouldn't CAT scans on cats just be scans? I mean, Chinese people don't call it Chinese food. Well, maybe the cats.
I said they named it after them.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I'm a lickin' butter. So what does a cat funeral and cat casket cost nowadays?
Call me.
$800 to $1,000. I think it wound up being about $1,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, is that the business I need to get into?
And they had other plans that I think we eliminated some of the extracurricular stuff. But
gotta be cheap
because they wanted like $2,000 or $2,500 just for that. We're like, no.
Can you just cremate it and put it in a little cat bowl and move on?
It's cost money to cremate them.
Yeah, I know, but not.
Yeah, so they got $1,000.
I got to get into that business.
I know. Taking care of pets is expensive. It's lucrative if you're the owner of it.
I know that now with the dog that I said we'd never have.
Right. There we go.
Yeah.
See, right?
Yeah,
and it's all worth it. Thanks to Sarah McLaughlin. Thank you, Sarah.
Did you play this at the
Yes.
at the gathering?
Yes, that was an extra $1,500. But it was worth it. We sprung for it because it was worth it. Yeah. I'm like, how much will the Sarah McLaughlin cost? And they said $1,500 bucks. That's cheap at twice the price. But no, they don't. They don't just throw it in. It's too valuable. Wesley D is totally tired of 23. Tweets landed on its head. Obviously a defective cat to start with. No, the cat didn't fall.
No, the cat didn't.
The cat didn't fall. My granddaughter. Wellness guru Jeffy tweets, this is a good question that I don't know the answer to. Does 72 virgins also mean 72 mothers-in-law?
The answer to that is no.
Okay.
It does not.
Not in the paradise, not in the terrorist paradise or whatever.
Just because I'm getting 72 virgins doesn't mean I'm marrying them.
Because I don't know, is that actual Islamic doctrine, or is it the doctrine of the people who believe in the suicide bombings? Is it the terrorist doctrine, or is it Islamic doctrine? I don't even know for sure.
I thought we couldn't talk about it anymore, but I'm not really sure.
You can't.
I'm not really sure which doctrine it's in. But
we need to find out though, because then we'll look into the mother-in-law situation as well.
You don't have to marry it.
No, that's right. That's right. There's no marriage.
What are we talking about? It would be silly.
Yeah. This is paradise they're talking about.
Right.
So you have your cake, you eat it too. Or you eat your cake and you have it too. Whichever way you want to go.
Works. Yeah.
Whatever. All right, good. I'm glad we got that settled. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter and also Instagram, Threads. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, youtube.com/Pat Gray. Hit the bell to get notified when new content is published. And blazetv.com/Pat, promo code Pat for 10% off.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
I'm really bummed because I was going to bring in some cookies today from Kexi Cookie. Because my wife updated our sugar lemon cookie. Oh my gosh. It was good before. But then she really amped up the lemon flavor in it. And then she rolled it in powdered sugar. And it is so delicious.
I'm so happy that you didn't bring any in.
Are you?
I am. Yeah, because
you're watching your girlish figure?
Yeah, I know. I would. Yeah.
We also right now have a Halloween slasher sale from now until Monday. You can get free UPS ground shipping on all boxes. There's still time to get your box by Halloween. And we're offering a limited supply. Now, the actual Halloween boxes with the monster cards and stuff and the Halloween cookies sold out in one day. But we still have a few of the miscellaneous, like the monster cookie, which has chocolate chips, peanut butter chips, vanilla chips, M&Ms, the Mummy Nutella. It's a chocolate-based cookie with a Nutella center wrapped with a vanilla frosting to look like a mummy. And the red velvet cookie with vanilla baking chips and a creamy vanilla frosting.
Did I mention how happy I am you didn't bring any in? Because
and you saw the monster trading cards, right? We have a few of those.
Those are actually really cool.
Yeah, and really we can throw those in with some boxes. Anyway, but Kexi.com, KEKSI.com, and free ground shipping, U.S. ground shipping on all boxes until next Monday. We were going to get to the AOC thing and finish up on AOC because she was on CNN and she's so brilliant. We wanted to share just about every word out of her mouth because I think you're going to agree with so much of it. Here she is. We played the wrong one, but here she is actually trying to explain her vote against the Iron Dome, which we provided to Israel. Basically.
I mean, she was brilliant in the clip that we played talking about how the country should take refugees, including the United States, clearly.
Right. She was brilliant on that, and I think she's going to give you a reasonable explanation about why the Iron Dome shouldn't have happened. Here she is.
A couple of years ago, there was a vote in Congress for funding for the Iron Dome, and you very publicly were torn, even emotional about your vote, which ultimately was present. You put out a statement saying that you opposed Iron Dome funding. I wonder, given everything that we've seen in this last week, the Iron Dome has essentially intercepted thousands of rockets from Hamas.
Right.
Do you believe now that funding is essential. Would you vote for it today?
And to be clear, at that time, I had voted present on the Iron Dome funding because of what we had seen previously that year in terms of Netanyahu's decisions, which also resulted in the bombing of several buildings that contain media agencies, civilian targets. However, I do think that in this present moment, when we discuss support for Israeli defense systems, that is absolutely legitimate. I think it is absolutely something that whose support we can. So
you would vote yes today if it came to the United States Congress, additional funding for the Iron Dome?
I think if it was explicitly around that, I have concerns about white phosphorus. I have concerns about the respect for about human rights.
What?
Did you cut that white phosphorus?
Yeah. What is the white phosphorus thing?
I have no idea.
She has concerns about white phosphorus?
I mean, I will say this.
What?
I am not a fan of white phosphorus. Anything to do with
You
whiteness.
used to be. You used to be very pro-white phosphorus.
You couldn't get me to shut up about white phosphorus.
Don't think I don't remember those days when you were all over white phosphorus. I'm not going to let you get away with that.
Okay.
I can't. I can't let you get away with it.
I'd like to see you prove it. Is there a 24-minute clip?
I think
of
we
me
do
talking about white phosphorus?
I think we do. Yeah, we took all of the times you've talked about white phorphorus and put them together. Yeah. I think we could come up with.
I'm
something.
not quite. I don't understand why that. What is that?
Phosphorus.
Is that something that comes from the rockets or the?
I don't know.
Launchers?
Yeah, does it burn when they?
Yeah.
So according to this,
we're talking about the Iron Dome.
Yes.
Does it release white phosphorus?
So according to this, Israel uses the white phosphorus in military operation in Gaza and puts civilian at risk.
Huh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah.
We're launching rockets. We're blasting buildings. But the white phosphorus.
And what was the other thing she said toward the end there? Now I've forgotten because we're so pissed off about the white phosphorus. Play that again, because at least like halfway through to the end, if you can, because there was a lot to dissect there.
That year in terms of Netanyahu's decisions, which also resulted in the bombing of several buildings that contain media agencies.
Okay, pause it right here. Okay. Come on. She is so stupid. She's just butt stupid. You know why? You know why there is bombing of like media centers and schools and hospitals? It's because Hamas is launching rockets from there. Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to guess that.
You were going to call. I should have called on you, Jeffy, to see if you knew the answer.
I did.
They use human shields all the time. And as they said at the very beginning of this conflict, if you are launching rockets from a school, it's not a school anymore. Right. It's a military base. If you're launching rockets from a clinic, it's not a clinic. It's a military base. So that's why that happens. Moron. I'm sorry, puddin'. It's a nicer word for her, isn't it? Puddin'.
It is.
Pumpkin. Which one do you like better?
Not condescending at all.
No, it's not. No. It's endearing, really. It's endearing. Then she's tried to explain a ceasefire, right? The ceasefire. She wants a ceasefire now.
She did, but I want to see some more of the white phosphorus.
Oh, okay. Let's finish on the white phosphorus first. You're right. Yep, we're going to get through the rest.
I do think that in this present moment, when we discuss support for Israeli defense systems, that is absolutely legitimate.
It's legitimate.
I think
now.
It is absolutely something that whose support we can. So
you would vote yes today if it came to the United States Congress, additional funding for the Iron Dome?
I think if it was explicitly around that, I have concerns about white phosphorus. I have concerns about the respect for about human rights.
Respect for human
rights.
About human rights. What? What human rights do you have concerns about when we're talking about the Iron Dome, which is a defensive system?
Civilians who are not involved in this battle in Gaza, Pat, are being covered with white phosphorus. Okay?
They're being covered with it?
Covered it.
I'm against that. I am against that. Those damn Israelis. Are they covering people in white
That's
phosphorus?
what's happening.
Dang it.
When you look
they need to stop that.
When you look at the footage of Gaza, what do you see? White
phosphorus everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. That's one of the things that I have noticed about the footage is the preponderance of white phosphorus.
I didn't know what it was until just now. But now I know what I'm looking at.
All right.
That's so ridiculous.
Oh, my gosh. She is, again, butt stupid. Let's hear what her explanation, though, about the ceasefire that she's in favor of.
As all of this kind of kicked off, you and several other of your colleagues released a statement calling for a ceasefire in the region. But I wonder, what is Israel supposed to do about Hamas after they murdered, brutalized?
Whoever this person is.
Abby Phillips, right?
She's awesome.
Really? Yeah, she's been pretty good.
She hasn't, nailed her down or anything. But again, what are you going to do?
She's asking tough
the
questions,
right questions. Yeah.
that are seemingly sympathetic to Israel.
Well, yeah, right.
On CNN. I can't, it's hard to believe. It's amazing, but that's great. All right, let's hear the rest.
As all of this kind of kicked off, you and several other of your colleagues released a statement calling for a ceasefire
the Hamas
in the region.
Yeah, right,
but
right.
I wonder, what is Israel supposed to do about Hamas after they murdered, brutalized, abducted over 1,000 of their citizens? Are they supposed to just do nothing?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think what's important to note about a ceasefire is that it's not one-sided. Hamas has been sending thousands of rockets into Israel as well. And what is important is for us to identify our goal in terms of what safety means, in terms of what defense means.
But and if I may, Congresswoman, I think the position from Israel's perspective is that there was already an attack.
Thank you.
And Hamas already committed an attack. After that happened,
wow.
do you really believe that they should not respond to that?
I think what is important in terms of response is Israel does have a right to self-defense.
Oh, thank you.
I think what we need to take a look at in this situation is if collective punishment qualifies as defense, if the blockade on water, food, electricity, if the dropping of white phosphorus, which is an indiscriminate weapon.
She is really pause it for a second because we gotta spend some more time on white phosphorus.
I'm gonna do my research for you guys
because they are dropping white phosphorus on people,
covering it. Is that...
We all want it to stop. I mean,
it has to. It's
Jeffy didn't used to want that, but he does now. Apparently, he's come around on the white phosphorus issue, and I'm glad. I'm finally glad that you've come around on that.
I didn't realize the horrors of white phosphorus.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Time.
Now, phosphorus sounds like it burns, right?
I'm sure that it does.
It does sound like it burns.
I'm sure it does, especially the white stuff.
I'm sure it isn't pleasant. I'm sure it's not a good sensation,
I don't know that if, maybe we start using black phosphorus and it's better for us. I don't know.
Yeah, well, at least not white. Because white, anything is bad.
There you go, my friend.
As we know. So, all right, let's hear the rest of her wonderful explanation here on the ceasefire.
Which is an indiscriminate weapon, qualifies. So I do believe that there's a discussion to be had here. I don't believe that an either-or approach is what is necessary, but we should identify what our goal is, which is the cooling of tensions in the region.
Israel's goal is to rid the region of Hamas. They've been very clear about that. And I certainly take what you're saying about
There's some pushback
the
here.
Condition of Gaza right now for civilians who, as you point out, are not synonymous with Hamas. But for Israel to deal with Hamas, which is a force that is actually detrimental to Palestinians,
absolutely.
How else are they supposed to address a violent, militant, some say terrorist group, other than to go in there and take them on directly?
Well, when we talk about going in there, I think we should also keep in mind President Biden's statements as well about what the implications of a potential ground invasion would be. This is an inherently complex situation. I do believe that Hamas needs to be dealt with.
But how, I think, is what I'm
And
trying
I
to
think
understand.
what we're trying to figure out right now is that this present situation of collective punishment and indiscriminate attack
They're not indiscriminately attacking. They're not doing that.
And the complications with that approach now.
And
I'm
by
just
the way,
we target them.
All right, I can't handle any more of it.
By the way, her talk of easing tensions were eased.
Right, they were
until
fine.
You and your Hamas caucus and your great president put their grubby hands on everything.
Right, that's right. Man, AOC must have been thinking the whole time, did I take a wrong turn and end up at Fox News? Is Tucker dressed in female garb? Is this Tucker Carlson?
I mean, she did a pretty good job. Abby.
She did.
Yeah, because
that was really
you're not
good.
Gonna be able to, it's just like we talked about.
She held her
when you
feet
have-
to the fire.
When
She
you have
pushed
these
back.
people in front of you, it's tough to
It is
push
hard.
back.
Yeah. Yes, but she
because
did.
they're spewing their rhetoric at you all the time.
Yep.
You can watch Abby Phillip every night, weeknights at 10 p.m.
All right.
on
I know,
CNN.
I'm sure if we watch
news
tonight,
night, right?
we'll be radically disappointed on every other issue.
Oh, really?
But she seems to be
Yeah,
fine on
she
this.
does.
She really does.
does.
She seems to be sympathetic toward Israel. All right, let me tell you about the best wholesale land value in the state of Texas. Never before offered prime Texas acreage. This Saturday, it's the new section grand opening of prime Texas properties at wholesale prices. You can get a brand new lake access barn dominium ready for your finishes on 6+ acres for only $119,900, or 3 10-acre Lakeview estates, priced to sell in one day from only $49,900. Limited availability, so don't miss out on this. This coming Saturday, you can own 2+ acres of direct dockable lakefront on a trophy Bass Lake for only $59,900. It's just minutes to town for shopping and dining. These properties are serviced by gated entrance, paved roads, utilities, high-speed internet, so you could work from home if you want. Multi-million-dollar clubhouse. There's an equestrian center and a resort-style pool exclusively for owners. So call 765-LAKE now and take advantage of this new section grand opening this coming Saturday. You buy directly from the developer and you'll save thousands. This Saturday, these properties are wholesale priced to sell in one day. So call 765-LAKE now. That's 765-525-3669. Or you can go online at texaslanddeal.com. That's txlanddeal.com.
Pat Gray is unleashed.
Just going over what we have left here to talk about, man. There's so much. We got to get to the Middle East migrants that are crossing the U.S. border. I'm sure there's no problem with that. I'm sure these are all loving, wonderful family people that have come here from the Middle East, sneaking across the Mexican border. I'm sure that they're just looking for a better life. Am I right? Who's with me on that?
Thank you. They're coming here to avoid their climate crisis and their struggles in their country.
You know what they did is they got into a rowboat with their kids and they paddled across the Atlantic all the way to the Gulf of Mexico until they landed on the shores, on the eastern shores of Mexico. Then they walked from there to the border with the United States. What do you want? These are the finest people on this planet who wanted that desperately to get here.
Wow. Are you working for Homeland Security now? Is that what's happening?
Are you working for Potter now? You say, Mary, don't you know me? Don't you know me? I paddled here from the Middle East.
Have we not?
You say.
Have we not? Do we have a border czar anymore? I mean, Kamala, I thought was in charge of that, but has that
Seems
just
like
gone
she's
away? Is that
abdicated that
just,
position?
That position is no more, right?
Doesn't seem like it. Yeah,
that's something that's in the bottom drawer, the right-hand side. I'll get back to
right.
it.
Right. Yes. Anyway,
I mean, every time I see her out and about, I don't see a lot.
I don't hear any talk about that really.
I keep seeing clips, and I swear to you, I keep seeing clips, and I believe that it's the same one, and it's not. where she continues to talk about her Venn diagrams.
Yeah, we're going to play that too if we get time.
I mean, it's just amazing
before
to me.
the end of the show.
Every time
I know.
I'm like,
I know.
That's old. Why do they keep showing me? Why do they keep sending me the same clip?
Because she keeps doing it. I don't know what her. Anyway, first let's do the Fox report on the Middle Eastern migrants who've worked so hard to get here.
And you can't overstate how concerned border officials are at the number of migrants that are coming from countries with ties to terrorism. And as you noted, Fox News confirming that since the fiscal year began, October 1st, more than 16,000 known gotaways entered. They were observed and seen, not brought into custody. We don't know who they are, where they're from, or why they're here. Let's take a look, a bird's eye view from the drone up in the sky. You can see in just this sector alone, in just this area, Sandra, since I've been on the ground since last week, they have encountered and apprehended 6 Iranians, 3 Lebanese, 1 migrant from China, 1 from Egypt, and 1 from Saudi Arabia. Just in this area, just since I've been here. But because the agents are so busy processing the migrants that are getting themselves up, it's those known gotaways that have more than 60 miles of this wide open, unpatrolled, unsecure border.
Oh, my. That's why they keep crossing it at Eagle Pass there in Texas, is because it's open, it's unguarded, it's unpatrolled. They don't even patrol that area. And you can see, you can slip right across, you're immediately in the city, and you're in Texas. Welcome. Hey, welcome here to the United States and to Texas in particular. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great. You're here from Egypt, is it? And Lebanon, is it? Syria. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. All the places.
From Saudi? Yeah, come on up. Come on, get over here.
Yeah. We don't have any history with Saudis who have come here illegally or overstayed visas or anything. I can't think of an instance that has really cost us dearly with Saudis.
No, but you in the back, you don't look Saudi. China.
China, come on in. Come on in. China loves us too. So this is great. Yeah, this is good. We have any Jordanians or Qatarians? How about some Kuwaitis? How about Yemen? Yemenis?
Oh, yeah.
Because, man, we are trying to get more. Our doctor says we're not getting enough Yemenis in America.
Yeah, so you have to.
Yeah, it's open season right now. You just come on in. You just come. Ollie, ollie, all come free. We're yelling at you from the Middle East. Come on over. People from the Middle East, come on down. You're the next American citizens. Okay. That's great. That's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing, would you?
No, I would not.
Don't put a wall there. That would be mean.
No.
You know what a wall means? It means you're a bad neighbor. That's what it means.
If you were to ask me, hey, what should we do at Eagle Pass? I say cover the whole damn thing in white phosphorus and walk away. All of it. I don't care if it hurts the
white
water.
Phosphorus
I don't care if it hurts the water.
Oh, wow.
I don't care.
Wow.
I want that thing covered.
Yeah, now he's again for white phosphorus. So we don't even have to dig for it anymore.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Research is complete.
Absolutely. All right. Okay, we got to get to the Kamala Harris thing, though.
Oh, yeah.
She's once again talking about Venn diagrams. Here she is.
So here's one thing I'm going to share about myself. I'm kind of a geek. To that extent, one of the things I love are Venn diagrams.
It's the same every time, too.
I love Venn diagrams. So the three...
And she acts like we've never heard that before.
Venn diagram to help you with anything that looks like it's in conflict, right? So a Venn diagram...
I don't.
She's being interviewed for, what is that, Fight for Freedom or whatever. She's on stage, which I'm sure they were happy to have the vice president. Seriously, they were happy to have the vice president. But then the guy, if you look at when she starts telling the story, I don't think he was happy about that story.
Well, he's heard it a million times.
One thing I'm going to share about myself.
He's heard it already.
I'm kind of a geek. So to that extent, one of the things I love are Venn diagrams.
And he's like, are you really going to act like you haven't told this story before?
Venn diagrams. So
I love Venn diagrams.
You can pull out a Venn diagram to help
I can't believe she's doing this stupid story again.
So a Venn diagram.
Look at that. He's looking away.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, his body language was like,
what are we even doing here? Come on.
You know, I love isosceles triangles. And there's one thing that I love is an isosceles triangle. Man, I can't get enough of them. I can't.
Do people call you a geek?
They do. They call you, Pat, don't start with the isosceles triangles again, because that's just too much. Oh, boy. Oh, golly. And then, you know what I also love? Quadratic equations. And people love it when I start talking about quadratic equations because they're like, Pat, are you going to do quadratic equations again? Which one? Which one are you going to do today? And I'm like, I don't know. I love them all so much. It's like picking out one of my children. You know what I mean? So, all right. I'll have more isosceles triangles and quadratic equations to share with you tomorrow.
Yay!
Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Can't wait.
And coming up later on Overtime.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah.